when there's one in LA.
Well,
Hooray.
because internet, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it choosing like the midpoint between? No, that wouldn't make sense because not all of us are attached.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Very weird. It's
Yeah.
better if you don't try and make sense of it.
Yeah, for us to
Usually,
be
yeah.
Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably using
So,
some
or
weird-
Salt Lake City.
Like Kansas.
Yeah.
Code Kansas gonna make you brothers.
Just goes to the one town in Kansas that has Google Fiber. It's just some dude's desktop.
Yeah. Oh, my computer's running real slow. Weird.
Reboot.
watched-
Oh no.
Have you watched Black Dynamite?
No, not yet.
Oh,
I've been meaning to.
I hear good things.
it's fantastic.
Nice.
Ugh.
Alright. Do we have any tweets? Nope. Okay.
Dude, no, fuck off, Boomer. I don't want to deal with you. You ruin everything. God, you're fucking cute. God damn it.
I can't stay mad at you.
Oh.
Alright.
It is. It's the most annoying thing in the world, and then a little shit looks at you like, Boomer.
Oh, what?
Look at him.
But I'm
No.
so cute.
No, Boomer.
But
No, get down.
But I won't bother anyone.
Oh, you fucking farted too.
Haha, sucker.
I'm adorable. Don't you forget it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I probably shouldn't have this plugged in while we're recording. Okay.
Have what plugged in?
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Excellent.
Alright, you guys ready to kick this pig?
Yes.
I think we're live. Well, I trust
I'm
that
as
we're
awake
live.
as I can be.
That's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I am your host, Boston. Going round the horn, we got Knobs.
What's up?
A very full beard mustachio combo today. If you're not watching the live stream, you can't enjoy the wonder. And
You really
the
can't.
Hannah.
Yo.
Sleep.
Who
sleep,
is
sleepy cast.
exhausted? Yeah.
Who is the Hannah? That's really my question.
Well, only the NSA knows for sure.
And don't they? Well,
Yeah.
let's give them a little bit more to spy on. Knobs,
Yes.
what you been playing?
Hey, guess what?
Hey.
We played Monday Night Game Night. Yay!
Yay.
That never happens.
Zambies.
Yeah. Yeah, we had another good round. I think we had full players, full 4v4. So it was
Nice.
a fun match. We did decide I played 3 times this week. Monday Night Game Night. And then we had the Thursday Night Disaster. Yeah, we played. We decided to team up, play some randoms. I believe it was Nintendork, Donnie, Urgent Fury, and myself. And man, did we just get rolled!
Really?
I mean, embarrassingly rolled.
Ooh.
To the point where I think Donnie rage quit twice.
Jeez.
I didn't even know he was even aware of that term, but he did twice. And it was like we forgot how to play the game. Like it was utterly ridiculous.
Just a comedy of errors.
Oh no, it was just they were just that much better than us.
Wow.
I mean, we might as well have been trying to just walk into a brick wall. The weird thing is we played the Parish twice. This happened to us twice this week. For some reason, the first group, the infected spawn right on top of you. Like it was ridiculous. It happened to us twice. It happened to us on Thursday and again on Saturday.
Host
Um,
advantage.
Oh, I think I was the host.
Oh.
See, that's the real problem. Host disadvantage, more like it, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
God.
I mean, it was so bad. I mean, just absolutely just throttled.
Yeah.
Like for 3 or 4 maps in a row, and to the point where it was literally no fun.
Jeez.
And they seemed to be, I don't know if they were cheating. I don't know, because they seem to be spawning awfully quick. I mean, awfully fast. Not just fast in the beginning, but we played a little bit of Peggle, just because. And then we ended up playing again Saturday night, and we played the Parish again for one of the first matches when I was fully prepared for them to spawn. So as we spawn, I grab my med kit and I sit there and I'm waiting, and all of a sudden 2 hunters come flying at me. I brick both of them, and then just put them down. It was like vindication. So I'm gonna call Saturday night Left 4 Dead Redemption.
There you go.
Where we were pretty much on top almost the whole night. The one map we did finish, I think we ended up losing at the end because we totally we shot ourselves in the foot pretty quickly. We were playing Heavy Rain, so we got getting back to the finale. We were up by like 300 points, and Donnie got smoked. The last one over, got stuck, and apparently that wall is bulletproof, so I couldn't get a rifle shot through it to save him. But from that point on, it was just, there's nothing we could do right. I mean, it was bad. We didn't even turn the sign on. It was so bad.
Just laid down in the middle of the street.
I think we ended up losing by like 50 points because of it.
Nice.
But it felt much better playing a competitive game versus just getting shellacked.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, inquiring minds must know, were Donnieisms being shouted at the masses at random?
No, those are pretty to our local party only, even though we are compiling a list of Donnieisms.
Oh, man.
Excellent.
I think it's on 3 or 4 pages now. It's priceless. Just some of the stuff that flies out of that man's mouth is just amazing.
Pure gold.
It literally is comedy gold, because the man is just so funny. So, like I said, we played some Peggle. That was just kind of our just sitting around BSing game for a while. We had a good time. Then we like seemed like everyone just kind of got bored. Like, all right, we need to do something else. We played some Gears on hardcore horde mode this week. I think we made it to wave 20 or something. I think we died on wave 5 at one point.
And you're just like, really?
Yeah,
Really,
I can't believe we just died. We just died in wave 5. We were playing the Thrashball Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one I don't think I've ever really done on horde mode. But yeah, that one's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Because if like you get yourself all set up to be on the perimeter and get your entry points in, they will spawn behind you and you get chainsawed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That was like, I'm trying to think. I was like, what's the point of having the base if they can still spawn in that area?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like on the one where you're in that little hotel and they could spawn in the balcony like right on top of you.
Yeah.
And we did that one on Insane, and that was not fun.
that was not a good time had by all.
No, I think we made it to wave 20 that night too. But no, I mean it's some of the dumb, stupid things that happen. It's just I think Tomsy might have crushed me with the scoreboard. But yeah, other than that, it's horde mode. It's just fun. I just love active reload. It's the only thing that really keeps me coming back to Gears.
Nice.
It's just quick active reload. Just makes me happy. It just tickles that little center of my brains. That's done. I have played an absolute F-ton of Fairway Solitaire.
Nice.
I don't even feel badly about that.
I have 120,000 golf coin token things.
Amazing.
Like I haven't finished all the maps yet, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back and 3-star everything.
I mean, you sort of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do now. I think I'm like 8 or 9 courses in at this point, and wow. That game is a ton of fun.
It is.
I can't recommend that game enough.
It really, it's
so
fantastic.
Good. It's so good. Even the stupid little gopher animations and stuff are a riot.
Yeah.
I love when the gopher pops up in the course and he just kind of puts his arm on the hole like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on, strike a pose, buddy. It's a riot.
You know you can tap him for
Yes,
points.
for 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on top of him now.
Man.
First couple times I was like, oh, so they'll go for it.
Little guy.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit him. But yeah, that game is really good.
Yeah,
Really,
I'm
really.
surprised that never came out on PC. I'm gonna look at that. That seems like a Fairway. Nope, Fairway doesn't have an S in it. Anywho.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, the S starts solitaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think right after Peggle, like before we played Left 4 Dead, we played Iron Brigade for I think 2 or 3 maps.
Nice.
And I still not really sure what's going on in that game, but it is fun to shoot stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. All I know is just some guy keeps yelling at me. It's like, oh, you can't put it there. Nope, not going to work. Let me know if that landed in the right spot for you. But, all right. And then Captain Beardo Tubes Man is yelling at me nonstop. It sounds an awful lot like Marcus from Borderlands.
Oh really?
Yeah. It sounds like almost eerily identical to Marcus. Like I'm waiting to find out if he's selling guns on the side too. Little arms dealer. This little Russian accent. It's so cute. I got kind of bored this week, so I decided to play Res HD all through it. Why not?
I saw that pop up on Raptor the other day. I was like, oh, good choice.
Yeah, I just kind of blasted through it in one sitting. I love that game.
Oh, it's so
I love that game. Oh man, it is so good. Even though I was a little rusty, I think on area 1 and area 3, I missed one of the nodes. I'm like, what? Where?
How do I even do that?
Shame.
I'm thinking, like, I can't believe I didn't. What?
Yeah.
No, sir. There's no way. No way. But yeah, God, that game is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I really forgot how immersive that game really is for as minimalistic as it is. Like it sucks you right in to all the lights, effects, and things blowing up and beat and making weird noises. It's fantastic.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I love that game. Probably top 10 of my favorites of all time.
Well, yeah.
I love that game so much. And then I played Lumines because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm plateauing at like 1.5. It's driving me
same
crazy.
here. It's killing me.
It's driving me nuts. Like I get to the blue staticky looking blocks and I just have a meltdown.
Yeah, that happens. That's the one I've started plateauing at before. It used to be the black and gray one because you have to really focus. Because otherwise you're like, oh, that's black and that's oh no, it's not. Oh god, this is a mess. You just start putting stuff where it does not belong.
Well, same thing. It's like you start concentrating, your eyes seem to fog over, and then like especially in the black and white one, you especially if there's an action piece in the 4 blocks, you have real tough time telling what color that is.
Yeah, because it does like an overlay to it. It doesn't just put the symbol there. There's sort of like a, I don't know. It's crazy.
It's like fog. Like I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but that one messes with my eyes.
Yeah.
And then the green one, or not the green one, there's that one in the train, the really fast one.
Oh.
The beige and orange ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so fast. You're like, all right, I just need focus and just get through this, and then you get the nice, easy, calm one, and then the blue one comes up, and then you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
I can't think this fast right now. I've been playing this for like 3 hours.
Yeah. I always make dumb mistakes on that one too. It's never like, oh, it collapsed on one side. It's always like, oh, I put the blue next to the white. That's not where that goes.
No, it seems like every time I pull out my special to clear out the single color, the auto clear,
Yeah.
I always manage to stick that in the worst spot where I get 3 pieces instead of chaining it. Or you build up one tower on one side, and you can't get it over. You can't move fast enough to get it over that little spire you have built.
Yeah, because it's fallen in the middle, and you've just got this tower you have to avoid, and it's.
Yeah, it's not so much like my towers start on the sides and it kind of slowly encroaches in on me, like the trash compactor.
Yeah,
like it's driving me nuts.
That's actually a really good metaphor for it.
Because it's like slow encroachment into the middle. And it seems like the second you get a rhythm going, then you get that one long piece that's like checkered the whole way up. You're like, how am I going to work this one down?
Yeah.
But let's see if there's anything else. Now, it's pretty much it. It was pretty much gaming on the reg for me. Like, it was just the same stuff I play every week. I'm dying for a new game to come out that I want to play.
Before we move on, BigFishGames.com has Fairway Solitaire for $3 for PC.
Nice.
And it looks like it runs on pretty much any PC that's been made in about the last 15 years. So go try that out, because that game's really good. Also, we forgot to mention voting is open for the next TVGP Game Club.
Yes, we do have one that's ahead right now, but it could be literally any game with 2 votes.
It's anyone's
it's
race.
System Shock?
It's anyone's race. Well, we can't say. I mean,
you can't say. You gotta leave
come
some
on.
mystery.
I got to get some propaganda out there.
So for anyone that hasn't been watching the forums, the Hannah has been so kind to take over at Game Club for me now that it's running like a well-oiled machine. Well, now it will run like a well-oiled machine because I'm not taking care of it. So big props to the Hannah, and go vote. Your vote counts.
Yep.
I can, knowing how many people vote, your vote counts.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Hannah, what you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing some interestingly different stuff this week.
Oh.
So I finally tried out Hearthstone.
Ooh.
That game is dangerous. That game is gonna be a problem.
Yeah, you kick a game like that. You don't just stop playing it.
No, you don't. I used to be really heavy into Magic the Gathering. I sort of hit it at an interesting time when GameStop was getting rid of all their cards, and I still worked there.
Oh, so you just super scooped.
They were pennying out entire sets and entire boxes of boosters.
Jeez.
Oh, come on.
So I had this monstrous collection. Actually, my younger brother has inherited a majority of it because I just can't do it anymore.
It's not healthy for my marriage. It's not healthy for my job.
It's not. But
at least you're not painting little figurines.
I'm not. Not yet. You know, I got to get a regular group together before I can do any of that. But anyway, so yeah, I used to play Magic the Gathering pretty heavily, and I've always loved, deck building and just experimenting with different combinations of cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This totally scratches that itch.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite thing is the fact that no matter what, every player's always on an even footing.
Yeah.
You don't have land. You don't have to worry about,
mana.
you don't have to worry about mana because it just builds up every turn.
Yeah, you get one more every turn.
Yeah, so, you start the game, your first turn you have 1 mana, so you can play cards that require 1 mana. The next turn you have 2, and then you have 3, and, as the game goes on, it's sort of, it's this weird, it escalates it because you can play more powerful cards, but it also limits you at 10, so you can't just throw everything you have at it.
Yeah. I really liked that because you always see and hear those horror stories about Magic the Gathering where it's like, yeah, turn 2, I got decimated because he had this crazy combination of cards that just did all my, 15 times the amount of health that I have. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, this person has a deck that is literally nothing but land that produces 2 different colors of mana when you tap it.
The other Jay-Z in chat says, don't forget the coin, which every once in a while a player will get a coin that temporarily gives them 1 more mana per
That's right,
for that turn, which is crazy.
But
it's crazy.
It's never going to completely imbalance the game, though.
Nope.
You see Magic the Gathering games end on turn 3 because one person has just not gotten any land.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I really dig about it is the fact that, so you got your starting hand, you've got, I believe it's 3 cards by default, but if you don't get to go first, you get a bonus card.
Yeah.
So there's there's no real, you're still sort of evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the way you can play the cards, and the fact that you don't have to just attack the opposing player. You can directly attack their minions. You can directly attack cards on the battlefield, which, you know, when I'm coming from Magic, I'm like, well, I have to attack them, and I was pleasantly surprised to realize that this giant bruiser that just came out on the field that's going to destroy me in like 3 turns, I can just chuck a fireball at it and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's just got some really interesting mechanics. I like the taunt mechanic to sort of give it like keeps it in the Warcraft universe where you have to attack that creature before you can attack anything else. I was also really fond of the weapons. So if you draw a weapon card, you can equip it and then directly attack with it.
Mm-hmm.
And its durability degrades. And the other big thing was the ability for each base deck. So I started with the tutorials and stuff. I was playing the Mage deck, which is based off of Jaina Proudmoore from World of Warcraft. And her little thing is just you can do 1 damage with a fire spell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's incredibly useful because if you've got an opponent that's got a bunch of 2/1 creatures, you can take out one of them. And then let your minions do the rest of the work for you.
Well, and I like the individual character abilities too, because it's really interesting because you kind of always have something to do, even if you don't have a really great hand, or you're kind of waiting for your deck to settle in, or you have a couple cards that it's like, well, I need 1 more mana, and so next turn I'll be able to throw down like 3 cards. Do not know who is building something outside. I don't know why I keep opening the window like an idiot. I like that there's always like, you know what, I'm just going to do 1 more damage towards the enemy character.
Yeah.
And the best part, I think the best part of that game, opening decks. Or opening card packs.
I haven't done that yet. I only played a little bit of it early this week, and I know that's going to be bad.
Oh,
that's going to be super bad.
It's the best
Is it like the pin packs? Like you're like, I don't know what I got.
Yeah, but it's like it's so interesting because I know a big part of Magic and most CCGs and TCGs are opening these packs and seeing what's inside. So you basically have this big primary area, and then on the left-hand side you have this stack of cards, or a stack of packs you have. You drag those in the middle, and it like crackles and explodes, and all 5 of these cards come out, and you flip each one over individually. So it's not just like you got 5 cards, whatever. It's they somehow figured out how to make opening a pack meaningful and actually fun,
and satisfying.
Yeah, and it's man, it's the end of me.
I'm gonna have to go play more. Oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you guys want to hit me up on Battle.net for Hearthstone, I should be on here and there. I'm really waiting for the mobile version to come out because that's what's gonna kill me.
What's your name on Battle.net?
It's the Hannah.
Oh, there you go. Ta-da!
I was gonna say the
alliteration here,
but I couldn't remember quite what it was. So, as with most Battle.net IDs, it's got the number after it. But I think you'll be able to find it.
It's on the forum somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. If not, I'll post it.
The other Jay-Z also reminded me that the arena in Hearthstone is really good.
Yeah, I haven't hit that yet. I got past the tutorial. I tried to unlock the Paladin deck and failed miserably.
A lot of those unlocking are fun, but really pretty challenging at the beginning.
It was one of those. It was like a stealth white deck. I was like, okay, I got him down to like 4 health. Oh, look, he's back at 16 because he has healing spells.
Oh, and now I'm dead.
Oh, Paladins! I still hate them. Oh God. It brings back so many memories too. It's like that sense memory of like, I know all these characters. I played World of Warcraft for so long. I can't get dragged back into that, but I wanna get dragged back into that.
Yeah.
Oh God. So that's done. I also played and finished The Wolf Among Us episode 2.
I haven't even started that.
It's so good. A lot of people, I've heard there's been some like, yeah, it's okay. I'm full in on this episodic series now. After pulling something like they pulled, I can't even talk about the story because it like, I can't say a thing about any of the characters.
Yeah, we're after
ruins
episode 1, we're past the point where we can talk about anything, basically.
Yeah, the thing that happens with the people was great.
Yeah, and also that other thing with the other peeps, that was super.
Yeah. I did switch it up this time. Instead of playing keyboard and mouse, I actually played it with the Xbox controller. That is the way to go.
Yeah, that's how I felt about the first episode, where I was playing it. I was like, oh, okay, this is really good. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Well, like, you do have to move the cursor around with the thumbsticks, which is like, seems a little pointless. But everything else is so much. The conversations are much easier to handle because you have a button to press instead of having to move your mouse all the way over to the option and potentially misclicking. And that happened to me in the first episode. I meant to hit the option on like the far left, the top, and I hit the silence option. I was like, that is not what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say something. This was not a moment to stay silent.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a few answers to a couple of questions that popped up in the first episode, and there's a fairly substantial reveal at the end of the episode, and that's really as much as I can say.
Yeah,
and there's a fairly substantial reveal in the beginning of the episode, so. It was really short. I think I finished it in probably a total of an hour 15, maybe. Yeah. So it was a little on the short side.
Well,
but
what bothers me so much, I didn't know it was that short, but it's been a long while since the first episode came out. So kind of shouldn't be that long? Short,
yeah, probably not. It is short. I will give it that, but I'm one of the people that will oversee, length versus quality, especially considering I think I paid $20 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's episodic. It's not going to be super long every time. I think the max my personal maximum I'm expecting out of each of these episodes is 2 hours.
Yeah.
You get about an 8-hour game for $20.
Yeah, 2 hours to me is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't wait for them all to be released so I can pound through them.
That's what Persona Gold just said in chat. I think with the quality of the first episode, and though I haven't played the second episode, it sounds like it's of the same or a similar quality. Yeah. I'd say that as long as they keep up this quality, it'll be good enough that once the full season comes out, just pick it up, bang it out in 10 hours, and kind of call it a day.
And, if you're looking for a reason to, I normally I would say pick it up and just play it episodically. This is one where some of these, the cliffhanger on the last one and the cliffhanger on this one, I'm kind of like, so maybe wait till it's all out.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the suspense, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, and it sort of gives you that same feeling of like, oh, it's gonna happen on the next season.
It's a good detective story trope where it's like, what's going to happen next week?
Yeah, it's kind of like for those of
on the shadow.
Yeah.
For those that watch the BBC Sherlock series, it's sort of the same thing, except
it's very
a much
much
shorter
the same thing. Where it's like, wait, what just happened? Wait, how did? Wait, who? What?
All right. Well, once I finish marathoning Fringe here, I'm gonna start watching Sherlock.
You really should. They're really. Yeah. It's 9 hour-and-a-half episodes, so it's not that much of a thing.
Yep, it is. It is phenomenal. So before I get into one big thing I purchased this week and played, I decided to try out Dungeon Keeper on Android.
So
and that was a mistake.
I made it about 5 minutes.
I made it after the tutorial, because the tutorial takes you through, and it's like, here's how you do everything, and this is how this works. And I was like, okay, there's a little bit of weight for some of this stuff, but nothing substantial, nothing huge.
Yeah.
Because in the tutorial, it's like, oh yeah, you have to wait for the stuff to get dug out, but it takes like 15 seconds. You'll be fine. No, it doesn't. That is a lie. That is a filthy, filthy lie. To dig out a section of the dungeon so that you can build a room. What is it, like 4 hours?
It's a significant amount of time. I'm actually going to pull it up on my iPad here while we're talking, because I
uninstalled it immediately.
The only reason I still have it on here is so I could pull it up on the show, because my problem is that when you get into the game, nearly immediately, there's way too much stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible amount of stuff. Come on, game. And it also takes forever to load.
I didn't, honestly, on my Galaxy and Nexus, it worked really well. Once you got into the game, it was very smooth.
For everyone in chat, this is the insane that exists on this screen at one time.
It's a lot.
And to counteract that with another game I've been playing, the very popular Threes game that came out on iOS. I'm trying to pull up this screen here to show people how you should make mobile games. Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted this game to be cool.
Threes. Boom. That's it. It's backwards because of my camera. Don't yell at me.
Waiting on delay, because I gotta watch you through the Twitch. But I really desperately wanted this game to be like I was totally fine with like, okay, they're gonna throw some microtransaction-y stuff at me, but as long as the core of the game is intact,
as long as it's still Dungeon Keeper.
And it's not. It is an absolute. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It is nothing but pay to. It's pay to play. It's not free to play. It is pay. Yep. If you want it to be free to play, you better have the most time in the world to play this game.
What disappoints me so much is that there have been so many games out there that have done free to play really well. Most notably for me, Tiny Tower. You never have to pay for that, and you're not getting into the game where it's like, oh, you want to build another floor? That's going to take you 2 days. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? When you start off in
insane.
Tiny Tower, it's like, it's like 15 minutes. It's like, oh, okay, I got 15 minutes, sure.
Yeah. But, like, just to dig, I could understand, like, if it's some big structure and it takes a lot of resources, it's like, okay, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, come back, this will be done, it'll be great. Just to dig out the section for it, just to do that very basic action that is absolutely necessary to continue progressing and playing in the game is completely ludicrous.
Yeah.
And one of the most greedy things I've ever seen in a microtransaction-based game.
And you know what really disappoints me is that Dungeon Keeper, you don't bring back the name of Dungeon Keeper like this. Like,
no, you don't.
I know the three of us are the few people that remember not only Bullfrog but Dungeon Keeper.
Yeah.
But you can make Dungeon Keeper a really great $15 Steam downloadable, also put it on consoles, and that'll probably sell pretty well if you can invade your friends' dungeons. A lot like that.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh god, what was that? The Castle Doctrine that just came out. Pretty much Dungeon Keeper, where you're invading other people's, but it was a modern day home thing. Like,
that sounds like a blast.
Yeah, and just for them to bring out, I was like, oh, Dungeon Keeper Mobile. That I would have been okay with them making a $10 iOS version of the original Dungeon Keeper with new graphics. That would have been okay.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh god. That sound is exactly how I feel.
Just
about
a
Dungeon
hot
Keeper.
turd.
Yeah, go download the first 2 on GOG. Give them your money. Do not give it to this new thing.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole rating scandal on Android.
I don't
with it.
even want to begin getting into that.
That is ridiculous.
Rating scandal.
So the game at points, you know how most like iOS and Android games will pop up and be like, "Do you want to rate us in the store? You've been playing for a while." And most times it's like, "Yeah, fine," and it brings you to the rating interface. This one is, please rate Dungeon Keeper, and there are 2 buttons. One is blue with black text on it that says 1 to 4 stars, and one is green with black text on it that says 5 stars. And it actively makes it very difficult for you to rate it anything less than 5 stars.
Yeah.
And EA is coming out this week saying, like, look, everybody loves this game. It has like 4.5 stars on iOS. It's got like 4.8 stars on Android. Everybody loves it. And everyone's like, no, I just can't. I can't do anything else. So it's the whole thing from top to toes is just bad.
Yeah. So don't spend your money on that.
Yeah. Don't download it either.
Yeah. But on a happier note, I picked up one of these again.
Oh,
I got me a DS Lite.
Mm.
A buddy of mine is moving out to the West Coast and is just sort of getting rid of some extraneous stuff. He's a huge game collector. He works for a PC hardware company, so he's got all sorts of stuff, and he's really just sort of getting rid of stuff so he doesn't have to travel with it.
Mm-hmm. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I got myself a DS Lite, and
Nice.
let me start reading off some games here because this is going to be a rather drool-tacular collection here. So we've got Final Fantasy 6, 5, and 4 Advance.
Yes. Don't play 4, by the way.
Don't play 4?
Buggy. It's very buggy.
Well, then I will just play the
5.
Final Fantasy 4 DS
Yes.
that I got as well. Final Fantasy 3, The World Ends With You, Zelda the Phantom Hourglass, and Pokemon White.
Nice. Man, the DS Lite is probably one of my favorite consoles.
It is, and he mentioned
it is fantastic.
Like, I think I want one of those again.
Yeah.
So I played. Let's see, what did I start with? I started with Legend of Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass.
Okay.
Because I had never, I knew that these were, decent games on the DS Lite. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It sort of feels like a master class in how not to implement touch controls.
Ding, ding, ding.
I get what they're going for. It makes sense, especially given the period of time when this game was developed. Things were moving towards the touch controls on phones and things like that. This is not how you make a Zelda game, though.
Nope.
This is not how you innovate in a Zelda game. If I can tap on an enemy, cool. That swings, awesome. If I need to do something other than that, I can't.
Right.
Because I have hands, and I have hands that are this big.
Yeah.
Let me compare. My hands are this big.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to control this game, I can't see at any given time a quarter of the screen because my hand is in the way.
Yeah. God, the game is so bad.
I have to agree. At this point, I'm gonna try and trudge a little bit further. And see if maybe it gets a little better, maybe if it gets a little easier. It doesn't seem to be terribly difficult. I haven't died yet, which is frankly shocking for a Zelda game because I usually get about a half hour into A Link to the Past, and I do something stupid and die.
The only really
every
hard part
time
is the actual tower, the central tower of the game. The further you go down it gets, I think, a little harder than it needs to be. But I don't know if it's incredibly difficult in general.
Yeah, it seems it's a Zelda game.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're expecting. It's little kid wearing green swinging a sword.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask for it. But I would rather he be able to swing the sword with some measure of accuracy and grace rather than me flailing wildly on a touchscreen with a stylus.
Did you ever play the Minish Cap?
I did. I played a little bit of that way back when it came out, and that was
you should find another copy of that and finish that. That whole game from beginning to end is just, it's another great Capcom Zelda game. And they make really great Zelda games.
Which is a weird statement about any Nintendo property. It's like, a company that's not Nintendo, they make great Nintendo games.
They really do. Also, have you bought a copy of 999 yet?
I have not, but I plan on it because I can finally then play the one that was on Vita. Yes, and I have it on PS Plus, and I've been like, well, I want to play 999, but I got to get it.
999 is only $17 on Amazon right now. So
excellent.
You should probably go do that.
Yeah.
Word of warning for when you start that game. The first puzzle is the hardest, so don't be discouraged. There's no time limit on the first puzzle, even though it really seems like there should be. Yeah. And the writing is occasionally not so great. And
and that won't bother me because of the next game I'm also playing.
Okay.
I popped in, which was Pokemon White.
Yeah.
I have. My brother absolutely loves Pokemon, and I haven't really played it since Yellow. So I decided to pop it in today and check it out and walk around a bit, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's it's very simple, it's very straightforward, but it's kind of nice to not be bombarded with, all right, here's these 12 systems. This is how you do everything in the game.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, go catch some Pokemon, have some fun, see what you can do. It's not. I guess the phrase I'm looking for is like it's low pressure, because a lot of JRPGs tend to do this huge info dump and give you like this breakdown of all the systems, but it's not really a breakdown. It's just sort of an overview. If you want the breakdown, you're going to need to go get a degree in some type of math.
Yeah, some Pokemonology.
Yeah. And I don't know if I plan on getting fully into like the EV training and stuff on that.
That's so not worth it.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you. Like you can. There is. I really like the Pokemon games. There's so much stuff in there in those games that you can just enjoy without having to do anything else crazy in that game.
That's good. That's good to hear. I played probably a good hour of it this afternoon, and I like it. I love the way they did the art in this, because it. And I think I'm almost 100% sure all of the characters are still sprite based, but the backgrounds, all the backgrounds and stuff are 3D.
Yeah.
And the way they were able to contrast those looks really interesting.
It's a really cool effect.
Yeah, and it doesn't look. It's not like you're looking at Doom or something, and it's like, oh, those are clearly like 2D things coming at me and just getting bigger. Like it's this very cool looking effect. And I picked my starter. I picked I think it's Snivy,
the snooty green
the grass
guy.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks very highfalutin, I think is the phrase.
Yeah. Hoity-toity.
He's putting on airs.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And I was actually able to blast through the first two battles, no problem, no death. I was like, all right, cool. That's better than I did when I first got Pokemon Red. And I think that's really like the big thing for me is like the Pokemon games don't appear to have changed much on the surface.
Right.
At face value, when you first fire this game up, if you've played, if you were a kid when those first games came out, like I was in like 7th, 8th grade when Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, took the world by storm.
Yeah.
It's there's a Pokemon professor. They give you Pokemon. You go down Route 1 and you go to the next town.
Yep.
And it's
start collecting badges.
What to do. Yeah, you know exactly what to do. And it was just like it was all these memories come back of like I remember being 10 or 11 years old and just saving every penny I had because I had to get a Game Boy Pocket, I had to get the silver one, and I had to get Pokemon Red.
Yeah, because
that's what you had to do. But yeah, I'm digging it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But the last game I played, of course, I threw in Final Fantasy VI Advance.
Oh yeah,
and God, I threw it in because I saw that the iOS and Android versions of this game have come out, and those games look disgusting compared to this.
I just I was playing Final Fantasy V on iOS recently, and the thing that I'm so frustrated about with both of those versions is all of the monsters look so much better. Like, they just look so good in that engine, and every single one of the main characters, the people you're spending like 60 hours with, look like garbage.
Yeah, they look like free sprite rips you got off a forum.
They look
Russia.
like an RPG maker, like, this is my first game. It just...
It's unpleasant to look at. And I don't understand why they felt the need to do that.
So I actually looked at this recently, and I it was kind of surprising because I thought I would have figured, well, it's a smartphone. You make a Super NES emulator, and you just put Final Fantasy V in that emulator, and that's pretty tiny. But they said that apparently there was something wrong with the original source code when they tried to port it into iOS and Android that necessitated them recreating both of those games by hand. So they started from scratch and remade Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6. And I was just like, oh, really? I was like, why?
That sounds...
Like, not to be mean about two of my favorite Final Fantasy games, but why bother?
Yeah. I mean, I sort of see, you get the person that doesn't really keep up with games now, but they're like, oh, I loved that game.
Yeah.
And they pick it up. But even then, if it's a release as Final Fantasy V here in the States, people are going to be like, oh, that never came out here. Whatever.
Yeah, that game looks really weird. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still Final Fantasy VI. I think I got up to, I just got to the castle.
Castle Figaro.
Yeah. And yeah, I still love that. Still love that Moogle battle. Like I just post the two on the sides, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get as much experience as I can, and I just plow through the rest of them.
Yeah, just wait.
Like it was perfect too, because I got through all of them without having to use the Moogle only group, so I like maximize the experience that you can get.
Have you played Final Fantasy V before?
Yeah, I did the 4-Job Fiesta last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and now I've got an actual GBA version of it that I can.
Man, the GBA
play.
Is the best one.
Yeah, which I'm super. I can't wait for the Fiesta this year.
It's only 4 months away.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I can start practicing.
Yeah.
All right, and that is. I think that's all I played this week. I might have opened up a couple other random games. I played Lumines. Still haven't beaten Knobs' score.
I'm not even gonna write that down.
Yeah, don't. It's just a sad story at this point.
Oh man. All right. I'm
doing everything I can to preserve that. By the way, too.
Oh, I know.
You monster. I want to give props as I start what you've been playing here to my buddy Alex at work, who lent me. You can see this on stream. Lent me the dev version of the Steam controller. So I've spent about the last week kind of playing around with that.
That is awesome.
How do you like it?
I really like it.
Nice.
I really like it with two big caveats.
Okay.
One is they need to give you the option or make the option way more obvious about how to change the sensitivity or the sensitivity type of the two touchpads, because when you go to use it, it's like a haptic feedback by default, so you just have to tap it for it to do the thing on either one of them, which makes sense for the right pad, because that is basically a mouse pad. It's really weird. The right pad is for mouse and keyboard stuff is the mouse pad, and the right bumper is the left mouse click, which doesn't make sense when you hear it until you start using it, because you just use that with one hand, and it immediately starts making sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
It's weird. It's basically, my mouse is in my right hand. Oh, and I'm clicking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Cool.
The other Jay-Z in chat asks, when's that out? I have no idea. I don't. They need to make a lot of improvements on it, so it's going to be a while, I think. I really like the two pads. Hearing about it, I didn't understand that when you do something on the pads that makes some sort of input, the pad rumbles a little bit. So you get you have a little bit of feedback where, like, if you tap the left pad to move your character or something, if it's a D-pad, it just does like a quick little vibration when you're moving. If you drag your thumb or whatever on the right pad, that acts like a mouse or like a trackball. It acts more like a trackball than a mouse. If people have used trackball mice. It'll sort of, if you just, drag your finger very slowly, it just does, a couple small clicks. If you drag it very quickly, it has some velocity behind it, so it does more intense vibrations. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I cannot agree more with Steam about moving those buttons. The way they are in the dev kit are virtually unusable. That they're around that touchpad. Also, really happy they're getting rid of the touchpad. Not a thing to keep. I I think the big caveat is unless someone can figure out how to do it, I don't think this replaces your 360 or PS4 controller in your computer. I think this works for everything except for first and third person shooters. So I went through and I played a bunch of stuff. Broken Age worked great on it because you're just using it as a mouse. Don't Starve worked really well on it. They had a specific Steam controller layout for the game that mimicked the PS4 version with a couple of extra shortcuts because you have the 4 touchpad buttons. That worked really well. And then I fired up Batman Arkham City and said, let me just put it through its paces. It works really well with the 360 controller. Was unplayable from a walking around standpoint and from the camera will not stop freaking out and switching between pointing straight up and spinning around or pointing straight down and spinning around. So like
nauseating.
And I found out because no one went through and made a Steam controller profile for it. So it was stuck in this weird quagmire between it's not set up for keyboard and mouse, but it tried to get set up for the 360 controller, but it always thinks there's an input on the
touchpad?
Yeah, on the touchpad, so it's just spinning around crazy. So Arkham City unfortunately wasn't playable on it unless I changed it to keyboard and mouse, and then it kind of didn't work right. I feel like for things that need dual sticks, you should probably keep your PS4 or 360 controller plugged in because it's already set. You know, you've already got it set up. But for anything else, it seems like it's a pretty good solution for that, especially if you want something you can hold in your hands that is basically a mouse and keyboard kind of thing. And I think it really works well for that. And I think there needs to be that one killer game out there where you can put this controller, this really alien controller, in someone's hands and just say, all right, sit down and go and play this. And immediately it clicks with that person. And I don't know what that game really is, but I feel like there has to be a game out there where you can just hold this controller, which doesn't have sticks, doesn't have a D-pad, barely has any buttons, and not have to spend time. I had to spend over 2 hours kind of mapping my brain to using it, because you're used to holding the controller, putting your thumbs on the sticks, and then everything's okay, and putting your fingers on the triggers, but none of that exists. There are triggers and there are actually buttons underneath the controller, which are actually pretty nice and work pretty well.
Very cool.
But there's still that we're so used to playing a dual analog controller, or nowadays a dual analog handheld, that it's kind of you hold it and you're just like what? It's like it's like learning how to ride a bike, where you're just like, how am I supposed to do all this at once?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, it's basically
especially we've been conditioned for so long just to have that controller in our hands, and the layout is just comfortable now.
Yep, and I want to be clear, because it sounds like I'm telling Valve to put dual analog sticks on there. I'm really not. I think you'd be hard pressed to improve what the 360 controller has done to PC gaming if you're interested in playing PC games with a controller, and then extending that into the fantastic work Sony has done with the PS4 controller. I think when you're faced with those two controllers and them being so native to PC gaming, I think you don't have to beat that, you know. Especially with Steam OS natively supporting 360 controllers, I think you buy one of those, and maybe once Microsoft decides to deign us with the Xbox One controller drivers on PC, maybe then we'll go over to that terrible controller. But until then, we have two really good options for controllers on PC games, and I think this one, I think it meets Valve's requirements for how do I play Civ 5 on my couch without a keyboard and mouse. And I think it kind of meets that by basically making a mouse controller.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun playing it, and I had a lot of fun using it, and I'm really curious to see what the actual end product is going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it seems cool, and if it turns out to be a really cool controller, I might buy it, because I kind of had, it was kind of a pain in the ass to sit on my couch and play Broken Age with a keyboard and mouse, and if I could just do it on this, great. That sounds okay by me. I'll spend $50 on a controller. I played a bit more of FTL. I've been trying to do a lot more streaming on Twitch lately. I've been trying to do around an hour a day.
Nice.
For anyone that wants to follow me, I'm just Boston Hannon on Twitch, or just follow me on Twitter. I'm really rusty at FTL. Like, really, I did a lot of really dumb things because I forgot, hey, you can run away from enemies if it's way too tough. So I died in a spectacular fashion very quickly. But I was reminded how much I absolutely love FTL and how much I cannot wait until that expansion comes out. Which still has no release date, but please, just, I need it. I needs it. The game I've played the most of this week, and I don't have my 3DS near me, or I'd pull up the numbers. Bravely Default came out on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And the Hannah, if you enjoy Final Fantasy V, you should pick up Bravely Default.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's the same thing.
Nice.
It's the same game. It's beautiful. The polygon work in there is amazing. The backgrounds are beautiful. They're kind of these painterly backgrounds. The music is astounding, and it's the Final Fantasy job system.
Nice.
And it is a really lighthearted, kind of campy story. You get all 4 of your party members within about the first hour, which is great. And what I really like about it is all of the villains are way over the top and really goofy.
Very cool.
And that's one thing I loved about Final Fantasy V, except the main villain of 5 is kind of serious with a dumb name. I really like when these villains aren't coming in and, like, setting fire to a town full of orphaned puppies. It's just sort of like, I don't know, I'm bad, and I have a weird German accent. Oh no, I have been defeated. It's just, I really like it when I can play an RPG that isn't all the end of the world, and it's all, spiky-haired dudes saying, "Who am I really?"
No, Deus Ex Machina!
Yeah, and there's a guy in there that has amnesia, of course, but he has a book that he wrote before he lost his memory that is written about everything that will happen in the game. So every once in a while he'll be like, "Oh yeah, we need to go here." Close the book. And it's just like, "Oh, okay." It's sort of like, I don't care why. It's just kind of fun. I think I really like having a good RPG that I can have fun with. And it's not it's not my elder brother took over the government from me. It's just it's really fun, and I really, really love what?
He took over the government. No.
That was his death knell. I loved running the government. And I really love a good job system. And
sorry,
I killed knobs. That's by the way, that's basically the story of Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, the government.
No!
Double-crossed yet again.
Oh, the Chocobo bill failed.
Oh,
no!
God.
The tax on spiky hair.
Yeah. I really just love the battle system, and I talked about it during the demo with the Brave and the default system. Is immediately really great, and they give you a really great tutorial about it, which I really wish was in the demo. And what I thought was interesting, and I really wish they would have had for Final Fantasy V, is every time you pick up a new job, which the majority of the jobs in this game are actually picked up through side quests, they give you they autoplay a tutorial for that class. So on the top screen, there'll be all 4 of your party members are like fully leveled up in that class and just showing off how cool that class is. And then on the bottom screen, they give you an explanation is what its most popular moves are. And then on the next page, they have basically what their weapon proficiency is. And then they just loop this menu of like, look at how cool this thing is, right? So you don't the class that I just got is Merchant, and it's just like, what does that do? The Merchant actually, it's like the Zenigage in Final Fantasy V from the Samurai, where you're basically earning more money than usual and then throwing that money around to boost up your party and damage your enemies.
Nice.
And it's very cool. All right, that's kind of cool. Otherwise, I'd been like, I don't want to be a merchant. What am I going to sell the rest of my party potions? Like, what about... That sounds dumb. So it just...
You're robbing Peter. Hey, Spiky here, dude. Give me $5.
Yeah, give me $5.
Here, you Blondie, go hit him.
Yeah.
Here's
give me
$3.
Some potions. I remember talking about Xenoblade like this, but Bravely Default really takes a class. It's very much a classic old school JRPG. It's 4 people line up on one side, all the enemies line up on the other side, fight.
Yeah.
But what's really great is not only does it let you manage the difficulty, but it also you can manage stuff. You can make the game way easier or way harder. So you can manage not only the battle system speed in the battle, so either you can pause it or slow it down, or speed it up to 4 times the speed. So
every game needs that. Every JRPG needs that.
Well, above and beyond that, you have auto battle. So basically, you just set up however you want to fight, hit the Y button, and it will do that until you tell it to stop. So if you just want to grind in an area, turn on 4 times battle speed, turn on auto battle, and just go nuts. But to add on top of that, which is really cool, you can change the rate of encounters in the world. So from negative 100% to plus 200%. So you can say, I'm going to go through this dungeon, I don't want to fight anyone. I'm not in the mood, I just don't want to fight anyone. I'm not going to get any experience, of course, but I don't even care. Or you can say, look, I'm way under-leveled, I'm just going to grind, turn it up to plus 200%. Every couple of steps you're getting into another battle. And it goes in 50% increments. So you can be like, look, I'm just 50%, I don't want to fight too many. I don't know. Really great. And then you want to make it really hard, you can turn off experience. You can turn off getting job points. And a whole bunch of other stuff. And then on top of that, there's another system where Breath of Fire 3 and 4, or that other game style, you're building a town. You're restoring a town based on your friends and this other stuff. And as you do that, the save points in the world, which are these adventurers, will start selling you more and better things as you go through.
Very cool.
All of it is really great. The voice acting is funny and it's interesting, and the writing is good. There's a 128-page book in the game, because why not? I guess I've read about half of it now. All of it is really, really super great. And I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. And the last game I played, I borrowed from work Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for PS4. And I did a bunch of streaming of it yesterday. I put that game in for about 5 minutes yesterday just to see how nice it was, and I played for about 3 hours. So, first off, game's still really great. Second off, this is the type of game that I want on these 8th gen consoles. I don't care what the frame rate is. I don't know. I don't care. It's smooth. It's buttery the entire time. They increased the graphics over the graphical quality over the 360 and PS3 version, and it looks like a very high-end PC version. And then they put Tress effects in there, and they changed her face, but kind of everyone knows that by this point.
Yeah.
And it's the load times are way faster. The game looks way better. They fixed a couple nuisances. They fixed a couple bugs. They put all the extra stuff in there. There's comic books and art books and making of videos and all this stuff. But the core game is way smoother. The frame rate on PS4, I know the Xbox One version has problems. The frame rate is higher and smoother, and the game looks better. That's all that I really want.
Yeah.
That's all that I want at 8th gen. Just make this stuff buttery smooth. And there's little hitches here and there, but it's like there's 7 enemies on the screen, and it's raining, and there's lightning. So, okay. The other JZ in chat says, way better. I thought that game already looked pretty damn great. Yeah, me too. But they just... all of it looks so good, and it's so smooth. It's really the combination of the two. If it looked much better, but it ran like Deadly Premonition on the PS3, where it's like 15 frames is good, right, guys? Then I couldn't recommend this game, but it looks so good, and I agree with people that I think $60 is too much to ask for this. I think 40 would have been fair, but that's because I already played this game. If you haven't played this game yet, I think this is the definitive edition that you should play. Yeah. See what I think if you haven't played it yet, I think this is the version to pick up. It has all the extra stuff. It has the piece of single player DLC they released. It looks great, and it plays great, and everything is super. And you can pinch to zoom on the map.
Nice.
If you've already played this before, and you liked Tomb Raider, but you don't want to go through it again, maybe wait until it's $30, because that's kind of that would kind of be the price.
Yeah.
But that game is still that Tomb Raider game is still really good. No matter where you get it, even if you pick it up on the PC, which they haven't put the definitive edition bonuses into, it's still, that core game is really great. And you can knobs dropped off. You can get that game for a song and a dance on both PC and 7th gen consoles. Those versions are still really great.
Very cool.
And the other Jay-Z made a joke about lightning in the chat. They just showed a trailer where Lara Croft's outfit from that game is in Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. So, yay!
Right?
But now the Knobs is back. Let's take our first break.
Sounds good. I just got a call from work. I have to go
you should
see
probably
what
go
that's
check that
about
out.
really quick. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to listen to it here and see if it's something I can actually even take care of.
I should check my
But
phone.
no, when you said Super, I couldn't stop thinking of South Park Bigger Longer Uncut.
Oh.
Super, thanks for asking.
I'm
Don't
going to
you
go
think
check
I
this
look
out.
cute in this hat?
I will be back, hopefully.
Yeah, okay. I'm left all alone. The other JC in chat asks, "Hey Boston, have you had a chance to look at Our Darker Purpose?" No. Let's take a look at this. Fiendishly difficult action RPG. There was a trailer here. Since you're a fan of Don't Starve, the art's similar. Let me try and pull up the trailer on Steam here on the stream. There we go.
Oh, work problems. I gotta sign on here really quick.
Okay.
Shouldn't take too long, hopefully.
Persona Gold asks, are you going to play Outlast? I'm kind of a big scaredy cat, so... No, unless I stream it, just to make fun of how much of a scaredy cat I am. The other Jay-Z says that's some old art. Let me see if I can pull up some new stuff here. Whoops, whoops, whoops. So the other Jay-Z says it's much along the lines of Binding of Isaac. There are some persistent RPG elements where you can level up. That game looks kind of cool. I'm going to add that to the old wish list here. Persona Gold, I think if I stream Outlast, it'll just be me sitting here crying myself to sleep. Just blubbering like a big old pansy. Yeah, that game looks pretty cool. I might added that to the old wish list here. So I also need to add Octodad to my wish list. I think that would be fun to stream. Or as someone in Reddit posted the other day, Getting High in Public Simulator.
What game?
That does not
Octodad.
seem like an inaccurate representation.
Well, what's really interesting, what I didn't know about Octodad, because I think we've all seen footage of that game where it's just like, you're flailing around all crazy. The thing I didn't know about that game is there's a meter for every level that you go through of how much you're keeping it together in the world, and as that meter fills, more and more people start to realize that you're an octopus. So it's basically like, keep it together, keep it cool, man. Oh man.
Octodad, maintain.
Yeah. And the subtitle for that is just the best, Dadliest Catch.
Yeah, it is.
7 Days to Die, the survival horde crafting game. Really? Internet? Come on. Oh, Loadout. I meant to install that.
Yes, I've been hearing about that. A couple people at work were super pumped about that.
Yeah, it seems like it could be fun. I mean, it's free to play. I might as well try it. Oh boy. Oh man, South Park Stick of Truth comes out in a month.
Yeah, to a couple
Hopefully.
weeks, Lords of Shadow comes out.
Yeah, by the way, Mercury Steam, please, I canceled my 360 pre-order, so please list the pre-order for the PC version, because that's where I would like to play that. Cough, cough. It would be nice. Or just put it on PS4, that'd be okay too. But I don't think
It will. I think
that's
that
gonna
one will
happen.
come out.
I don't think so,
that one
because
will hit next
this
gen.
they said this is the last Castlevania game they're gonna make. So
I
I
wonder
don't.
what happened.
I don't think they want to be pigeonholed, if I remember correctly.
Ah,
But you're making
it's
really
not such
good
a bad. It's not such a bad thing to be pigeonholed.
for really good Castlevania games. I agree.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you're the company that makes really good Castlevania games. Yeah, we are. Thank you.
You know, I've kind of had an itch. I need to play Metroid Prime again.
Yeah, if only they made more copies of that trilogy for the Wii.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good one.
I keep my eye out at a GameStop every once in a while, see if I get lucky, but
Yeah.
Okay.
it's just one of those things. Should have bought it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, I hate when Nintendo does that. I don't understand why they only did one print run of it. You want to do one print run of like that cool Steelbook limited edition thing, that's fine, but I just don't understand.
Yeah, come on, press some more copies.
Yeah.
But you'll print a million copies of some other shovelware game. Doesn't move.
Toxic Joker in chat brings up a really good point. A Lords of Shadow 1 and 2 HD collection would be rad on Xbox One and PS4. That's a better
yeah, it would.
That would be. I would pay double for it.
Yeah.
You would pay double and buy 2 of them.
I forgot to
Stop it.
forgot to show everyone in chat. My girlfriend bought me this really cool Ratchet and Clank poster sort of print thing this weekend. So very nice. And an Adventure Time one, which I'll show everyone.
Oh, nice.
Because everyone should be watching Adventure Time. And if you're not, you're dumb.
I need to watch that. I'm trying to catch back up on Community. I watched like the first 2 seasons like a year or 2 ago, and then never watched the rest of it. So I feel bad.
Well, season 5 of Adventure Time is almost over. I think we're on episode 49. There should be only 3 more episodes. Unless they just decide to keep making more, which that's why this season is so long.
For sure. All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are. They've got somebody on it, so.
I am ready too.
All right. All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases for the week of February 10th, 2014. Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 for the PlayStation 3 and 360.
I really hope this is good. I need this to be good. Square.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc for the PlayStation Vita.
I did not know what this game was until last week and promptly pre-ordered it.
Okay.
It is a combination. It's a whole bunch of Japanese high schoolers get stuck in the school and have to figure out who's killing them one by one. And it is a combination of Phoenix Wright and the Zero Escape series, 999 Virtue's Last Reward. NIS made it. So
it's just like the really Japanese version of The Faculty.
Pretty much, yeah. So I immediately pre-ordered that. So that looks really cool, and I really wish I would have known about. I'm glad I know about it now. That way I don't have to be like, oh man, it's good. Hopefully it comes out, but it's coming out next week. So
yeah,
that's a perfect excitement cycle. Oh, if that comes next week, I can wait a week.
Yeah.
Skullgirls Encore for the PlayStation 3.
Skullgirls comes back after probably the weirdest licensing issue ever. So
okay. I've been meaning to play this. A friend of mine got it for me around Christmas on PC.
Okay. You might want to see if you still have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Weird things happened.
And a game I cannot believe is not out already on PC is Metal Slug 3 for PC. How is that not happening?
That's such a good Metal Slug game.
Let's face it, they're all good Metal Slug games. I don't know.
Some of the later ones after X got kind of...
It's still at its core, it's Metal Slug.
Yeah, play the first 5. Those are all good.
Yeah. And U.S. release for the week of February 10th, 2004, Metroid Zero Mission for the GBA. It is a fantastic game.
It's a phenomenal
I didn't
game.
know that was basically a remake of the first Metroid when I picked it up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really... Wait, that seems really from... Oh, this is Metroid 1. That's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That and Metroid Fusion were great.
Fusion, the first time they put like that teal stripe on her.
Oh, man. Super cool.
It was really good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Hot on the heels of Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to news stories. A brand new Sonic game was announced. Sonic Boom.
Come on, guy.
Coming out for the 3DS and Wii U. Animated series associated with it.
What are you
Of
doing?
course.
I feel like I'm the only one that isn't upset about this one.
What, you don't like Bandana Sonic?
No, I don't think it's that bad. Recognizing
It's
that,
an accessory.
recognizing that it's not for us.
Yeah.
Because no Sonic game will be for us after Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
So, the interesting thing is the Wii U version is being developed by the studio Big Red Button using CryEngine 3.
Cool.
Because why not?
It's like
yeah.
South Park using the dinosaur engines to make South Park
Yeah.
from Jurassic Park.
3DS version made by Sanzaru Games, and it's a little bit different from the Wii U version. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with the interesting character designs for this. And I've heard a lot of people saying, like, bring back the classic Sonic games. I don't even know what that means anymore. Like, Sonic 4, they tried with Sonic 4, and granted, Sonic Team didn't directly make it. That was Dimps, but that was a Sonic game. What do you want? Nobody knows what
I
they
don't
want.
know. I think Sonic's become so decisive at this point, you can't make anybody happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just give Sonic a break for a couple of years. Just Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations was a really good move towards really good, solid Sonic games that were modern, but just stop putting out 3 every year. Just calm down.
Yeah.
It's not the Genesis anymore. Speaking of calming down, Call of Duty's not going to do that. Although it kind of is a little bit. They're moving to a 3x3 cycle, so 3 studios are making Call of Duty games, each of which are going to be released every 3 years. So basically they're going to have, instead of being one team does it one year, the other team does it the other year, they're now inserting another team into that. Sledgehammer is coming out with the 2014 game. Treyarch is still making it, and Infinity Ward is still making it, along with Sledgehammer.
Okay.
So basically, every year you'll have a Call of Duty game that's been developed for 3 years. So they're hoping that the additional year of development, which, let's be honest, they were probably getting about 18 months before, will improve the games that they're making. Thought this was interesting. The president and CEO of Activision Publishing, Eric Hirschberg, said, quote, "The change will give our designers more time to envision and innovate for each title. It will give our content creators more focus on DLC and micro DLC, which have become large and high-margin opportunities and significant engagement drivers. It will give our teams more time to polish, helping to ensure that we will deliver the best possible experience to our fans each and every time." End quote. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think they just need to kind of cool their jets a little bit.
I think they
sure.
need to have an off year. Like a year where a Call of
Just
Duty
take
game
a
does
bye.
not come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's what they're trying to give each studio by inserting a third studio. They're sort of buying, if the other 2 studios that aren't currently in production will get sort of a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to something like this, though, are they going to have like some sort of like back end team that's working on the overall engine that they utilize alongside all of this? Because otherwise, you're going to have some pretty different games.
If Activision's smart, they get one internal team to make basically their version of Frostbite just for the Call of Duty games, and then all 3 teams use that engine and continually upgrade it as they go.
Yeah.
And I think what's really interesting for me for that is his comment about DLC and micro DLC. It sounds like they're going to come out with the game, let's say every November, because that's what's pretty much going to happen. And then they'll probably have an entire year of DLC for that team to be engaged on until the next game comes out, and then that team will continue with another year of DLC. So they may still only have a 2-year development cycle, but you have that team on that game focused on that game's DLC for an entire 1-year development cycle, and then they'll have 2 more years to go off and make something else. It won't be, you need to make the next Call of Duty game and 2 games old DLC at the same time. So
I don't know. I think this might just muddy the waters. I mean, just for if you're like, if they have an overarching just single style engine, I think that's going to flatten out the palette that they're going to be forced to constrain to the way that game specifically looks.
Hasn't that already happened?
Well, I agree with you 100%. Where I think the series needs to be refreshed, because that's what made Modern Warfare that like flash in the pan, is because it was so different from World War II.
Yeah.
And it's probably the same thing with COD Ops, that it was so different from Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Where I don't think if you're using the same engine that you're going to get the same result you're looking for. If the palette almost looks exactly the same.
Yep. And I think at some point, I'm worried that at some point that's what yearly Call of Duty fans kind of want. They want a very similar game that comes out every year that has a different subtitle on it, and you can start leveling over again, and then there's some controversial choice about how knives work, or you took out my favorite gun, how dare you, I bought it anyway and I put 200 hours in.
It's Starbucking, man.
Yeah, and the thing is from Activision's standpoint, they can't take a break because it's continually the biggest game around.
Yeah.
So,
and until the consumer says otherwise, this is what they're going to do.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to change.
Yeah.
If they keep selling, if they keep selling $100 million worth of games in the first 6 hours it's on shelves, why should they do anything?
Yeah, I mean that's.
Oh, you put a dog in
until
it.
Until that trend goes down, I mean it's not going to change.
Yep.
I mean, I would like to be engaged with the game, but I'm just not.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next news story. The first big Xbox One update is going to come out on February 11th.
Cool.
Kind of a lot of important and base level improvements here, like seeing and managing storage space.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wait until the second to last one. Games and apps go into separate queues. You manage which gets downloaded first. That's really important. The PS4 actually needs to do a lot better with that too, where like you need to be able to go pause downloads, so you're not downloading 8 at one time because it thinks you have the largest internet connection ever. Overall stability and Kinect voice recognition improvements. Sure, that would probably always happen. And last but certainly not least, you can now see the battery level of your controller. What they were saying a couple weeks ago was working as intended, and a design choice is now getting patched in. Good job.
Because of course it is.
Yeah. There is another big update launching alongside Titanfall on March 4th that addresses party and multiplayer systems. Those are the only details that they gave. I'm assuming it's going to fix the jankiness, or at least clear up the misunderstandings surrounding those systems.
Yeah, because it is confusing. I think the system is they want you to party up, then take the party into the game, and then from there it just works automatically. But we're so used to the other party system that it drives you nuts.
Yeah. So hopefully that turns out well, because I'd like Titanfall to do well on both platforms.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did not know, Titanfall is a Source engine game.
Yes, it is.
That's crazy. That engine is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Man. Speaking of crazy, Amazon bought a game developer. They bought
they totally
Double
did.
Helix, the developers of Killer Instinct. Oh. Sorry, Microsoft. They're also responsible for the Strider game, which I think is coming out any week now.
Really?
which will
Awesome.
hopefully be good.
Let's hope.
It actually looks really good. I'm kind of excited about it. But yeah, Microsoft released a statement the other day saying, we'll get back to you about who's gonna make Killer Instinct now, but just don't worry. Yeah, we got it. All right, you guys. Yeah, that's totally not a bummer or anything.
What does Amazon want with a game studio? Do you think they're going to go software or hardware?
The rumors have been swirling for a while about the Amazon console.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they're trying to get a large studio to kind of head their first round of games on their console. I couldn't see them buying a studio like this and having them make Kindle Fire games. That doesn't sound like a thing that makes sense.
No.
But I also don't know if the market wants an Android console.
Yeah,
they don't want the
Ouya. They really don't want the Ouya. They don't want the Ouya 1. They don't want the Ouya 2. They don't want anything.
Yeah. So I don't know what. The only thing that I could see Amazon doing with an Amazon console is basically making the Vita TV and focusing on streaming services with Netflix and Hulu and your Amazon Prime Video and blah blah blah. Kind of making it like the Apple TV.
Okay.
And then you can play all these games on there and games you can only get on the Amazon Marketplace. Blah blah blah. So I don't know.
Weird.
I sort of trust Amazon to, if they're going to do this, to come out with, here's the exact reason why you should buy it, and we'll be like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
That makes sense.
Sure, I can see that. It may not be for us because we already have a console in the living room that we do all this streaming stuff on. For those people that don't have it, maybe it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Amazon's really good about coming out and being like, oh, why do you want this thing that looks like this other thing? Well, first off, it's like no money. And second off, you already own all the stuff on it. So you don't have to go buy that stuff again. So
fair enough.
Who knows? And last but not least, easily one of my favorite news stories this year so far. Ubisoft abandons the Watch Dog trademark, except, wait, they actually didn't. So early last week, documents appeared that said Ubisoft put in a filing for an express abandonment of the Watch Dogs trademark. And everyone's like, oh, Watch Dogs is canceled. Oh, it's an Assassin's Creed game now, which I think it still is. And everyone's like, oh no, Watch Dogs is never coming out. In fact, what happened is someone claimed to be Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot and filed the documents, which is apparently a thing that works.
And it totally shouldn't be.
It should not. And the trademark office was like, yeah, that looks good. Did someone just fire off an email from Yves at Ubisoft.com? It's like, yo, bro, we don't want this anymore. You can take it back. And they were like, oh, well, that looks okay. I know that dude. He's a cool dude. That should be fine. So now Ubisoft is working to get the trademark back.
And for it to happen to that game,
I think everything.
Is what makes of any game the game that's totally about doing stuff like this.
Yep.
That is perfect. It's almost like I almost want to believe this was performance art,
like some sort of viral marketing.
Yeah, that's not even marketing. Just like that's you can't do better.
You can't
than
make that up.
Yeah,
you can't, and it's wonderful. And I feel like Ubisoft's gonna be like, I'm not even mad. That's impressive.
Yeah, I can't even be angry. Persona Golden Chat says, are you not going to talk about the Resident Evil Ghostwriter composer? That's the craziest story. I don't completely understand what happened there. So what I know, and hopefully the chat can help me here, we'll all learn together. What I know is that someone came out and said, hey, do you guys know that the composer for the Resident Evil games is deaf? And the internet's like, what? He's... Really? And Capcom was like, no. What? No. Guys, that's crazy. So another person came out and said, that dude didn't write the games. I ghost wrote them. But that dude's not deaf. I was just like, what? Also, Resident Evil music? What? I just remember the save screen music from the first and second games. Otherwise, I don't remember a whole lot of music. So, I don't really know. That's really confusing. Anywho...
Yeah, I don't remember there was much atmospheric music at all.
No. I remember the first game where you're just sort of clomping through the beginning of the mansion. Yeah. Dogs, rawr. I don't know.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to... let's not take a break.
All right.
Breaks are for wusses. Let's move on to tweets.
Mm-hmm. Tweets.
Sean C. writes in, "Hey guys, Toxic Joker here." Hello, sir.
Hey.
He sent us a bunch of questions. Some questions. First one is, do any of you have interest in Thief or Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare? I heard there was a really good preview of Thief out this last week that makes it look really, really, really good, but I haven't yet looked at it yet. So...
I'm interested in theory, but I don't know when I'll get around to it. Yeah,
that's not a day one for me because they haven't sold me yet.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a sneaky guy, and Thief 2 was exhausting for me.
Apparently, this one's supposed to be a lot better about that. It's supposed to be a lot more like do whatever, more like the Hitman games is my impression. Don't take my word for it. So you can kind of do whatever you want. So because that's where that game needed to go, you know. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I am continually amazed that that's actually a real game and not a viral marketing thing for Plants vs. Zombies 2. I think it's dumb enough to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the games that I'm like, that's on my list of reasons to get an Xbox One.
Yeah, it just looks so dumb, but kind of really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Elder Scrolls Online game coming? Will a monthly subscription thrive or fail on this game? I think the monthly subscription is kind of the least of the worries of that game right now. I think for most people it looks like a game that they don't want to play. To put it bluntly, I think when I talk to people about that game, they're sort of like, yeah, I don't want that. I want the single player game. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's weird.
And also, like a monthly fee, I don't... Come on, guys.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with it is going to be the fact that I don't know how you're going to have a massive multiplayer universe and keep the very intricate and strange lore of that universe somehow intact. I mean, World of Warcraft was one thing. You had, a couple of games behind it that had some backstory and some characters. Now you're talking about a game where UESP.net, just go there and read the lore pages. It will take you 3 years to dig through, and you can read all the in-game books, and it has this very established world, and I don't know how they're gonna do that, and you're gonna have a lot of people that are not happy if that gets messed with too much.
I'm trying to read a book and I got backstabbed because I have PvP on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. It's interesting to me because it's an Elder Scrolls game, but at the same time, other people not so much.
And it also just seems like such a weird. To put the Elder Scrolls as an MMO, it just seems like such a weird choice. I just, for a game that is a series that's so old and focuses so much on, but I guess Final Fantasy XI did really well, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Next question: what do you think will be looked back on as a classic game during the PS3 and 360 era? He actually lists 3 really good ones here. BioShock, which...
Yes.
Yeah. Uncharted, which probably Uncharted 2 for me. And
I really should play those.
And Left 4 Dead. I think the Left 4 Dead, both Left 4 Dead 2 games, I think are going to be very fondly looked back upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for us.
Yeah.
I would say Dragon Age Origins.
Mm-hmm.
The Deus Ex Human Revolution, just because I want it to be.
Yeah.
And XCOM.
Yeah.
I would probably say Mass Effect would have to be in there, and same with Dead Space.
Oh, duh.
Both of those trilogies, yeah.
Yeah.
Gears would have to be looked back on pretty fondly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Man, what's another game that just came out of left field for us? I don't know. I mean, some of the smaller artsy style games that just really took a risk and really went for it. Like for me, I mean, Asura's Wrath is one of those games that just blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're going to see once there's some distance and perspective on it, I could see Spec Ops: The Line being one of those games that is just absolutely heralded.
I think it's pretty close to that already.
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's one of those things with anything, that involves some sort of conflict in modern day. Once you have more, time away from it and perspective on it, through the lens of the present, looking at it in the past, it'll almost mutate and transform and become bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Portal 2.
Oh God, I can't believe we forgot that one.
Portal and Portal 2.
Portal 2, and I would say maybe AC2 and Brotherhood.
Yeah,
I think were games that saved that game.
Actually, I would say probably all of the Assassin's Creed games that showed up on there, I think for very different reasons. One, for being just a kind of okay game that started it. 2 and Brotherhood for being the good ones, and then Revelations and 3 for kind of being the famously bad ones.
Yeah. I would even throw Bastion in the mix there, too.
Yeah, I was going to bring up, like, Bastion, Braid, and Fez. Like
those are the three bigs.
3 downloadable games that everyone was like, dude, you just have to spend the $10 and you have to play this game. Everybody's playing this game. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'd throw Guacamelee in there, because that game is just phenomenal.
Hopefully Guacamelee, yeah.
I hope so. It's one of those, since it came out on the Vita first, you might end up with... Well, no, it was PS3 crossplay as well, so...
And it's out on PC now. It's out on Steam, so which I don't know how that game's doing on PC, but hopefully good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Who asked this in chat? Persona Gold in chat asks, what PS3/Xbox 360 games would genuinely benefit from a PS4 Xbox One release? I think, for me, my very first knee-jerk reaction to that would be Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
Just, the game already looks amazing and has such a great draw distance. I feel like if you could make that game, put that game in 1080p and give it people another push to try it, and then include the
Dark Arisen.
Yeah, the Dark Arisen, the expansion, in with it too again. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if I had to choose a game like that, I'd probably be more leaning towards Xenoblade. I think needs to be in HD.
I cannot agree with you anymore. That's a game.
I mean,
that's a game people need to play, and they didn't because it's on the Wii.
Another one like that, I would say, would be Sleeping Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Bundle that with all the DLC, throw a Game of the Year version on Xbox One and PS4, call it a day.
I would sort of almost rather them make another one of those and kind of slip the first one in as part of, like, the pack.
Okay,
it's like when White Knight Chronicles 2 came out in the US. They're like, look, you guys have to play this first one. If you didn't, it just comes with it. And just for Sleeping Dogs 1, if you don't have to change too much about it to put on the PS4 and the XBO, you just kind of have to turn the dials up a little bit and smooth it out. Yeah, smooth out the frame rate a little bit.
For sure. God, that game's pretty.
Yeah, and that's a great game that not enough people played.
For sure.
Yeah, Toxic Joker brings up the Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I think I would really like to see. I really wish they would come out with that on PS4 and Xbox One, because it's such a detailed game, and seeing that game running on PC with all the jaggies smoothed out and all those textures in the highest resolution they can be, and just seeing how pristine that game is, and just being able to give people the opportunity to play that, because a lot of people skip to that.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people skip that game in general just because of the God of War clone stigma that got thrown on it immediately.
Yeah.
That game is so much better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deserves better. And I think it really bugs me when that gets thrown about, because it's because of the weapon, and you cannot have a traditional Castlevania game without Vampire Killer. The whip. You cannot.
Well, without a whip-style weapon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that sort of, by the time it came out on PC, that stigma kind of went away. So,
Yeah.
Kind of for a positive thing.
For sure.
I kind of can't think of anything else that really jumps out. I don't know if... Because there are a lot of games that came out on that gen that I think I'd really like to have, like an HD version. But I'm trying to think of games that were either on the wrong platform and were really... in the case of Dragon's Dogma, sort of chugged a little bit. Kind of looked a little crummy. I'd love for them to. Here's a great example, Deadly Premonition.
Oh yeah.
Come out. That game had a lot of problems on both the 360 and the PS3. Smoothed out some of the problems with DS Fix on the PC, but if you could just come out with that, but they're making D4 for the Xbox One, so whatever. I'll just play that. But
yeah.
We had another question here. Toxic Joker asks, I'll also ask, since Hannah brought up a DS Lite, I have one laying around but no games. What would you recommend besides some of the ones I heard early?
Oh God. Just see the two Castlevania games, Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin.
Yep.
Portrait of Ruin is fantastic. I like that one better than I liked Dawn of Sorrow, personally.
I like Dawn of Sorrow better, but
I
Portrait of
liked
Ruin is just...
Aria Dissonance or whatever it was.
There's actually 3 of them.
There is a third one. There was one that
with
was super hard, though.
One with the chick.
The lady with the different tattoos and things.
Yeah.
That one was really good. Whatever that one was called.
Order of Ecclesia.
Order of Ecclesia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Hotel Dusk.
Mm-hmm. If you can find it, Hotel Dusk.
Yeah, that's a tough one. What were some other good ones? Oh, God. Contra 4 was good. The Ninja Gaiden game that came out for it.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Elite Beat Agents.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. I think I mentioned it, but The World Ends With You.
Yeah, World Ends With... if you like RPGs, try and find a copy of Radiant Historia.
Okay.
It's a really fun... It's pretty much Chrono Trigger, which is...
Chrono Trigger, which is also there.
That's the best version of Chrono Trigger. You should buy that.
Yeah.
Kirby,
Sonic Rush.
Kirby Canvas Curse. It's a launch game for the DS that was really good.
That was pretty good. Sonic Rush was pretty solid on there, too.
I'm going to put another one in for $9.99.
Yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers was excellent.
That was really good, yeah.
There's so many.
That's where it should have stopped, was right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 9. That was actually really good, especially if you have friends to play that with. I'm trying to look through some lists here of...
Yeah, same here. Etrian Odyssey, would you recommend any of those, Boston?
Maybe start with 1 if you can find a copy of it. Maybe.
Yeah.
If you can find them, I don't know how hard they are to find. The Phoenix Wright games.
Yes.
Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Professor Layton.
Any of the Professor Layton games. I'd recommend Tetris DS, but it's impossible to find. It's one of the best Tetris games.
Absolutely. Oh, God.
Yeah, we already talked about Order of Ecclesia. Elite Beat Agents we already have. Animal Crossing if you hate yourself.
Yeah. Oh, God, there's so many.
Sudoku.
Yeah, that good Sudoku game. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. That's kind of the high point. And don't forget, it's a Game Boy Advance machine as well. So
Yeah.
Yep.
The Mario and Luigi games.
oh yeah, those were really good games.
Yeah. God, just literally just go look at lists because there are so many DS games.
Go just bargain bin diving.
That system had such a long tail on it. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah. Man, oh yeah, that Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings game was kind of okay as an RTS.
Yeah. You had Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, which was okay.
I actually really liked Advance 2, but I know it's very divisive.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then just like the Final Fantasies that came out for it, 3, 4.
Yeah, 3 and... yeah, I think that was the only two. Puzzle Quest.
Yes,
that's
my
definitive version.
Yeah, that's a pretty great place to play that.
Yeah.
You will eat your battery alive playing
It will. Oh, God. That was so good.
Just looking through this last list here really quickly. I don't see anything else that I can really recommend.
Oh, God, the original Trauma Center.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The
Under
Trauma
the
Center.
I have that one,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
That's a great game.
Good.
Super tough.
Yeah, it gets real crazy at some point.
Oh, and another good puzzle game, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. I didn't know that came out for the DS.
Nice.
Great version. Man.
Yep.
Okay. Whew. Had a lot of games, so get to buying.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to emails here. First one is from Jeff. Says, what is a game or franchise that you would like to see current gen eventually take a full advantage on that? Not necessarily... Oh, I think we just answered that of games this gen we want on the next gen.
Okay.
He goes and says, I cannot believe we didn't recognize this. He said, Katamari Damacy.
Oh, God.
And he said he said basically he wants a Katamari game without the loading screens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be great. And probably fairly easy to do.
Yeah. I just want a one Katamari game that like randomly generates and then just lets you loose.
Oh man, Hannah.
Yeah.
Let's just... How much money do you need to make that?
All of it.
Okay. Well, I'll send a blank check to you in the mail.
Sweet.
Our next email is here from Dave, aka RoboPig. He says, "Hey guys, as an older gamer, 44, I do not spend much time on YouTube/Twitch watching others play games. As I follow more gamers on Twitter, I see that many 20-something gamers seem to mostly talk about YouTube and subscribers and streams. Do you think they are able to enjoy gaming with all this work they're doing? With little time for me to spend gaming, am I missing out on something not watching others playing? How much time do you guys spend watching others play via YouTube, Twitch, and the like?" I think, as I've been going through and trying to do more streaming, I think number one, the amount of time it takes once you have your setup going is fairly minimal. But I think it's a difference for the people that like streaming. Gaming isn't a solitary thing. It's very much a communal, let's get together and let's play games. And I think this is a way for some of those people to take those games that they're playing typically by themselves and not being very happy about it or engaged, and they get to play the game and talk to people while they're doing it. They get to talk to the Twitch community, they get to have people interact with them. Sure, that's not going to be for everybody, but for those people that's a very powerful thing. So I just want to... I'm playing games anyway, I might as well stream them. Why not?
Yeah, I don't really spend too much time watching other people play games. I mean, I like enjoy playing games with people and seeing dumb stuff just happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch like a let's play here or there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think I watch a lot of streaming. I'll watch Mina, one of my co-hosts from Pup. I'll watch her play stuff, but otherwise, it's... I think that's the thing that's really hard, and I think the thing that's really hard for video online in general is if you go to Twitch, and you look at all of these people playing all of these games, who should I watch? You know, like, how is this guy really good at Battlefield 4, or is he just kind of playing Battlefield 4 at the moment and he's not that great? Or is this person really good at this other game but they're kind of playing Don't Starve right now? You know, like, I kind of don't know, and maybe that's just because I haven't spent much time on it. But, you know, and for me, I think the thing that Jay-Z's getting to in chat, what I like is kind of archiving the stuff that I'm playing. Like, I had a string of really amazing kills in Tomb Raider last night, but because I was streaming it from my PS4, it's not archived. And I would have really loved to just, like, taken a highlight snippet of that where I headshotted 3 dudes as they were coming down a zip line in a row. That was pretty cool. But now it's lost to
It's
time.
gone to the ether.
Yeah. So, I don't know if anyone cares, but I would like to watch it every once in a while, you know.
For sure.
All right, and our last email here, I think. Yes. Our last email here is from Storm Shadow from the forums. Here's a few more questions for you fine folks to answer this week. Question number 1. Any beginner advice for someone like me who has just started playing Hearthstone? And by just started, I mean has logged over 20 hours. Just keep playing.
Yes.
It's free to play. If you have enough coins or you want to spend, I think it's like $2, play the arena. Just keep playing and keep tweaking your deck. It's just you have to find how you want to play and then orient a deck towards that, and keep experimenting with a lot of the different classes. Like, I really like the Hunter because it's a really weird class, but it might not be the one you want to play.
Yeah, just, I mean, the advice I give for anyone playing a new TCG or CCG is don't be afraid to completely dismantle your strategy and try something new.
Yep.
Don't cornhole yourself into one specific thing.
Yeah. And they have that really cool deck builder, too, where it's like, hey, we recommend these, or hey, you don't have any 0-point cards in your deck. Let's start picking some of these. The other Jay-Z in chat says, don't buy packs, take that gold and save them up for the arena. I think that's a good piece of advice, because the arena, for more, you keep playing, you keep battling until you lose 3 times, so you can get a string of 10, 15 wins, and then the more wins you have, the better loot you get. So card packs, gold, XP, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Question number 2: favorite pizza toppings. I like a good Hawaiian pizza. I like some pineapple on my pizza. Pepperoni, of course. I
mean, I think pepperoni is pretty much your standard go-to.
Yeah.
I love Supreme Pizza with everything on it.
Oh, yeah.
But I've become a fan of this weird pizza that I had over at somebody's house. It's a white pizza with whatever regular cheese they have, whether mozzarella or provolone, with onions and jalapeno peppers.
Ooh,
it is
interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Onions are fairly standard with the jalapeno peppers. That's nice.
It's kind of nice.
It's a bit of a sacrilege living in Chicago, but just give me a regular pizza with sausage, just Italian sausage, and I'm perfectly happy.
You kind of can't go wrong with that.
Oh, it's so good. Or, barring that, I will also accept bacon and or ground beef.
Yeah, bacon's pretty good.
Bacon,
yeah.
I think my favorite pizza, and this is weird, but my favorite pizza is just a regular pizza with black olives and mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's not greasy at all. It's not super heavy. Just kind of a nice, clean pizza. I like a clean pizza.
Yeah. That's why I kind of like the deluxe pizza, or everything on it. It's just so much stuff. It's a couple
sandwich.
Pieces and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question number 3: how do you like your steak cooked? Medium.
Or medium rare.
Yeah. Depends on how I'm feeling.
A little closer to the rare side for me, but medium rare without question.
Yeah. It's either medium or medium rare for me, depending on like how my stomach's feeling. If it's not feeling that great, but I want a steak, keep it on the medium. Nothing absolutely nothing above that. That's not. Come on, that's crazy talk. Yeah,
that's burnt. I might as well eat my shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably just silly.
That's all the questions we got this week. So thank you everyone for writing in. You can visit us at tvgp.tv, email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com, tweet us at tvgp, and everywhere else you can follow us, like Reddit, is on the right-hand side of the page.
Yep.
All right, don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourself on the map. Join us for our community game nights, which is Monday night, 10 p.m. EST. That is Left 4 Dead 2 on a 360. And our community Steam game night, which is Thursday, starting at around 10 p.m. EST. Join the Steam group.
Yep.
Voting has reopened for TVGP Game Clean.
17. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It is a dead heat between like 6 games, with one being out in the lead by a single vote. So if you go and vote, you can pick 2 games. And who knows? You could be the deciding vote.
Yep.
And I will be revealing the winner on the forums at noon on Wednesday. And we will probably kick it off the following weekend.
Yep. As I said before, and it's not a joke, every vote counts. Not a lot of people vote, so get your 2 games in.
There's only 2 games on the list of 16 that we're voting on currently. That don't have a single vote.
Yeah.
So even those could, with 3 votes, could tie the leader.
There you go.
System Shock!
And don't forget, you can watch this dumb show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. If you follow us, you'll get email alerts, or you can get alerts in the app, too, if you want to do that. And it'll email you, so you'll always know. But we always do this at about 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
All right. Titles.
Anybody got titles?
Nope.
We got a couple in chat here. All right. What do we got? Titles from chat here. We've got It's Unpleasant to Look At. I'm not going to write that down. Spiky hair tax, which I also
like
have.
Spiky hair tax.
I'm a fan. So and here comes my list. Zambies, which I was a fan of.
Zambies.
Thursday Night Disaster. Left 4 Dead Redemption. Apparently that wall is bulletproof. Strike a pose, buddy. Fairway doesn't have an S in it. Captain Beardo Tubesman. 2 big caveats. Maybe we'll go over to that terrible controller. I'm bad and I have a bad German accent. Who am I really? I loved running the government. Tax on spiky hair. Make this stuff buttery smooth. I need this to be good. Play the first 5, they're great. It's an accessory, and I like a clean pizza.
I like Spiky hair tax.
Spiky hair tax is pretty great.
I'm a big fan of that one.
I like a clean pizza. It's pretty good.
I don't. For some reason, play the first 5, they're great just strikes me as one of those ridiculous statements that gamers don't bat an eye at, and everyone else is like, wait, the first how many?
Just like, oh, it gets really good after the first 25 hours. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just like, what?
I gotta invest how much time before this is enjoyable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna circle Spiky hair tax.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, that one. That's pretty punchy. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 329 for February 10th, 2014. Spiky hair tax.
Pay up, sucker!
So much money.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. You guys can stop recording. We will be back next week, as always. Same bat time, same bat channel.